What's up, guys? Welcome back to the JP and Trav Show on the JP and Trav YouTube channel. As always, it's your host with the most, JP. And to my right, I have my esteemed co-host, brother and friend, Travis J. Davison. Travis, how you doing, bro?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Been busy. Air today. Had hopped on with Inside Texas a little bit. Tell those boys what's up, and then had the OU Club of Tulsa event from 6 to 7 to go in and just introduce Chris Plank at our Beat Texas Bash, and then I'm on with you lovely people. So I do have a couple props to my right. First, I've got the Horns Down Vodka. Check them out. And then, of course, the OG itself, Horns Down Apple Pie. If you can't, this is their Super Bowl right here. A lot of Texas fans say that, we're OU's Super Bowl. Well, this is Dinkin Addison and Horns Down Fine Spirit Super Bowl. So if you're in the Moore area, you need to pop by there. They're in Total Wine, and this is a big account for them. If they can continue to sell them out, it means they'll bring in all kinds of their line. They really want to make a good first impression. So make sure you go to the Total Wine and Spirits in Moore. Go check them out. Go buy up a bunch. Go buy a bunch before you drive down 35 and invade Dallas, Texas. How you doing, buddy?
Man, I'm good. Guys, I apologize I was late. I had a church event tonight, and so I was running a little bit behind. And so apologize for the late start. I know sometimes you get a late start, but we appreciate you guys being here with us. And man, do we have a lot to talk about? Obviously, number one being John Mateer, and who knows, right? What are we gonna see? Is he gonna start? The line has moved a bunch. It started out Texas 3.5, and now it's at OU 5.5. So I don't know. Vegas acting like they know something, Trev.
OU 5.5. Where'd you see that?
What?
Where'd you see OU?
I saw that before I came over here. I was like, yo.
OU 5.5. Where though?
Let me see if I can pull it up.
You didn't get got by Tattoo or somebody, did you?
Maybe I did.
Yeah, because it's on scores on ESPN. We're still minus 1.5.
Okay. Maybe it was Tat.
Man,
good old Tat. I wasn't even paying attention to who said that. I just saw it.
Man, that was close, man. I was like, oh man, I'm good to go. I got it at minus 3.5.
Hey, I'm not allowed to go to church, man. It's not questionable, man. Y'all know how I feel about Jesus over here.
Wow. What did Jesus say about John Mateer's thumb?
I've been praying.
Good. Yeah, the old Horns Down. Let's see. The Total Wine is off of, let's see, 2150 South I-35 Service Road. Yeah, so it's right off the I-35 Service Road. Total Wine. So go check them out, folks. Go check them out. Yeah, we love the Lord on this here channel.
Indeed.
And we hate the Longhorns.
Yes. What do you think is the percentage? Like, what percentage chance? In the chat, you got to do this too. What percentage chance do we give John Mateer at playing this weekend?
When we were on air, Tyler gave a crazy answer. I'm going to wait for the chat to get into a little bit. I do think it being questionable, instead of doubtful is good. I don't think we'll see him probable all week, but I could, we got him all over the place right now. I got 90% on the text message from, where do we go? There we go. The old Jackson Sumlin checking in on the text message. 90% from up there in Maryland. 99% from Fleming. 40% Ryan. Less than 10% the Honest Sooner. Wow.
Less than 10?
Interesting.
Kirsten wanted me to say 67%.
6-7.
7.
That's old Steve Wilkins, 10%. I don't know. He knows his stuff. He knows his stuff. But I'll tell you what, if I can tell anything from the comment section, is nobody knows.
Yeah.
We got 40%, less than 10%, 99% all over the place. So I think the most educated person on orthopedics is the honest Sooner. But he may be just having some fun with us. But yeah, it's the $1 million question, right? Or the $3.1 million question, whatever his NIL deal is. So, I mean, I think it's interesting. It's going to be one of these conversations where all we do is talk about the quarterbacks. It's going to come down to the defense. Both defenses are really good. It looks like Oklahoma's is a little bit better. Florida was able to push their defensive line around.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's not our offensive line's MO, but I think Texas's defensive line hasn't been as productive as you thought they'd be, right? You think of Colin Simmons, you think he'd lead the nation in sacks right now.
Yeah.
He's not. I think they only sacked – did they sack Lagway only once, or did they sack him at all? They only had three TFLs or something like that. It was bad. The defensive line was supposed to be – defensive line is supposed to be a strength of Texas. And while it is a strength of Texas, maybe, it may not be tops in the nation like we'd heard before. So it will be interesting. I'm excited to see Keontez Lewis as questionable on the injury report. Obviously, that's a guy who went full Kool-Aid man into the brick wall behind the end zone right there. Unfortunate, but we'll see. We will see. Yeah. Apparently, this man is impervious to concussions because Temple, he caught a helmet to the face mask and was nearly decapitated, and he made it out for Auburn. And then Kent State, he's in the game, has to come out of the game, very dramatic. And then now he's questionable on the injury report. So Keontez Lewis might be the Iron Man that we've all been looking for to show up on our injury reports. Because last year, I'll tell you what, it seems our wide receivers this year are a little bit tougher than the wide receivers last year. I don't want to throw any shade anywhere, but if one of those receivers last year did what Keontez did, they'd be out for the season. Keontez trying to get back this week. Dude's a fighter, an absolute fighter. So we will
make sure we match over here.
Oh, there we go. Look at that. Look at that. Aren't we adorable?
I did, Trav, really quick, before we get too much deeper into actual review of Texas. Let me grab my camera off. I did want to do our Kent State review really quick. Not a couple videos, not too crazy. Powered by our boy Sooner Gridiron. Just got a couple. Obviously, again, the offense didn't look, maybe as good as we wanted it to look. I know we had some issues here and there. Michael Hawkins, looked good in spurts, but also you saw some things that you're like, we could maybe do better in. Do you think that a lot of this stuff was, I don't know, maybe vanilla? Is that what you think? Or do you think that there should be some concern?
I'm not concerned as much. I mean, in the first half is what it is. You could tell he came in focused, ready to go. Second half, we started playing our backup guards. I think it forced some pressure into his face. What I think is interesting is, Derek Simmons hasn't thrown or hasn't given up a sack since his freshman year, and yet he gave up a sack against Kent State. Our offensive line has given up 7 sacks against Kent State and Temple, yet they've only given up 2 sacks against Auburn and Michigan. Now, I'm not sure if that means that our offensive line plays down to competition I don't know what it means, but I know that when their number is called, guys like Michael Fasusi and Derek Simmons seem to be fine. Now, I know we rotated guards in this game. At the end of the Temple game, we were rotating like crazy, especially in the second half. So it's going to happen. I think if we just go with our best five, which is left to right, Fasusi, Ozaida, Michaela, Fabechi, Simmons, I think we're going to be in good shape. I think they're going to come in focused. They're going to have their hands full. But in this game, even on that play, I mean, it got a little dicey there, right? He's got a guy who, just works all the way over and is able to get around the waist of Michael Hawkins Jr. Luckily, Isaiah Satania, he down there somewhere, lets it fly, and it ends up working. But, I mean, they send two at the center, and one gets through, but Hawkins is a talented dude, so he's able to make the play happen, get it downfield, and score the touchdown. Now he's not going to be no quarterback for Oklahoma is going to be able to do that against Texas or the rest of the SEC schedule. Nor
should they.
But I think the offensive line is going to play much better this week than they did last week. I know the defense prepares to a standard, but for some reason the offensive line doesn't. What do we got next?
So the guy who caught that touchdown was Isaiah Satania, who has become kind of, I don't know that we believe he's our wide receiver one necessarily, but he is acting that way just in terms of his production, right? I don't understand what Deion has not done more. And maybe it's just the ball's not finding him. I know that happens similar to maybe like an A.J. Brown in Philly right now. It doesn't mean that Deion's not great. I wish that we would have seen him maybe do more to this point. But, I don't know. Giovanni Gibson obviously just got back. But Isaiah Satania has been the number one receiver that we have. And he's also been really, really good in the return game. I don't know if this one here was the one that was called back or not. But regardless, him being able to showcase his speed, that's going to be a huge weapon for us down the stretch. At the beginning of the year when he muffed that one against Michigan, I was concerned a little bit. I was. But I think ever since then, he's proven himself to be a very, very worthy returner.
Yeah, and that's also why, obviously the offense wasn't clicking. I get it. But that's also why Oklahoma's offense didn't rack up a ton of yards. Because we started one possession, they punted it. We started it like inside the 20. Like at the maximum amount of yardage you can pick up on a whole drive is 18 yards. You're just not gonna, you're not gonna rack up a lot of yards. Could the offense have been better? Absolutely. I'm not saying that they were A+ by any means. I'm saying is there are a lot of yards in there. Add his 95 return yards to it, and the day ends up looking a little bit better. Now, I know that's not how football works, but Oklahoma had great field position, great starting field position the whole day. Absolutely the whole day. So, with Isaiah Satania, I was bullish on him as a returner. I remember I got lit up a little bit when I said that he's a confident return man, and then he muffed one, which the reason he muffed it is because he was, a little overconfident. But he's a guy that's going to have so much hidden yardage. So, I think we've got absolute weapons all over special teams. I think Tate Sandell is a weapon. Obviously, our punter, maybe, one of the best in the country, average-wise.
Yep.
You got Satania returning. I think Oklahoma can finally say, all right, Doug Deacon, I see you.
Yeah. Yeah. One to get to this guy, Jaydn Ott, we've been hearing that he had been RB1 in practice and he's been getting more snaps and stuff like that. It seemed like he's coming along. And, I had talked about it last week that, I'm not, it's funny because we get classified as sunshine pumpers, and I can tell you one thing: I ain't pumping nothing, but I'm not like I've been very on the record as being frustrated with that we spend money on this asset that we haven't used until week 5 of the regular season, and so it seems like maybe he'll be good to go against Texas. But Gabe had kind of the same kind of thoughts I did. Like I didn't see anything special that he did even against Kent. Like he seemed way too patient, wasn't willing to hit the hole, things like that. Now on this play in particular, I think you see some of his explosiveness a little bit, like boom, boom, right? And again, it's against Kent State, so you got to take it with a grain of salt theoretically. But him, being able to show this power here, make a little move here, cut here, and get upfield. I think seeing that can show you, man, this is what this guy's been in the past. We just haven't seen it. And so can he potentially do something crazy against Texas? Yet to be seen. But I will say it was good to see him at least do some things on the field on Saturday.
Well, and we did a lot more like, these quick outs and outside zone and just outside tosses and stuff that we weren't doing early in the year. I don't know why, but I think Jaden Ott, he shows this ability to jump cut forward significantly, like and keep his balance. The tools are there, the talent's there. He's just got to put it together on the field regularly. So I do want to jump to this before it gets lost in the shuffle. Our buddy Kaysen says, "What's up, fellas? I got a question. Why have I seen so many comments saying I'd rather lose to Texas with Hawkins than risk Mateer getting injured again? I strongly disagree with this opinion. The way I see it is, nobody's 100% healthy. You can't play scared. But also, like, I don't believe, and I'll have to check with my experts on this, but I don't believe like this is and I'll just pick a random athlete here. I don't know, Tyrese Halliburton situation where you've got a small injury that could all of a sudden be really big and keep him out for a whole nother year. Like, that's not what this is. This is not an ACL. This isn't anything like that. Like, this is a thumb that is operated on, that has been, surgically repaired and reinforced. So I think it's far much more a pain tolerance thing and grip strength thing than it is a risking his injury. So if it comes down to that and Mateer wants to play, he's going to play. I mean, it's simple as that. I mean, it's if he can. I mean, he played over 3.5 quarters of the Auburn game with the broken thumb.
Yeah, and a sprained knee.
And a sprained knee. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, it seemed like it was okay in that situation. So, I agree with you, Kaysen. Let him play. Let him play if he's ready. Don't do this, let's just lose to Texas, no big deal. It'll be fine.
Yeah. All right, last one, and save the best for last. I've been waiting his whole career, his entire career for something like this. And I told him, I was like, look, man, I'm not mad. I'm just a little disappointed. It's not his fault though. It's not his fault. Look at everybody on him. I was proud of him, guys, a little dancing, but I know he could do more than that. I know he could do more than that, but. I was so proud of just obviously. I mean, that move by R. Mason's crazy, but him being able to actually pick it up, and he should have had 2 because he should have the one in Temple too.
Yeah,
but yeah,
he's got more touchdowns than Jaren Kanak already.
He does. It's just crazy to think about. But yeah, man, this is best defensive line in the nation, and let's check this out. Here you go. Hey. Yeah.
Well, and R. Mason said that they had like a choreographed dance planned, but G Baby didn't do it. He was like, man, he just went up there and did his own thing, man. We had something planned.
That makes more sense. That sounds like something that would have happened because don't get me wrong. Like G baby, well, he's a youthful dude. Like he gonna do what the youth do, and some of the videos you've seen. But really, if y'all been paying attention, Grayson loves him some old school music, and so I was expecting some you know what I mean? Like I was expecting something like that, something from the '80s. And so I was ready for the elaborate before, and then I saw him bust down. I was like, okay, I see you move it a little bit, but it wasn't necessarily what I expected, which is okay. He had fun with it. He had fun with it.
Yeah, Grayson, great job on the touchdown. We just we like to see better moves, in the end zone. So go ahead and score again this weekend, and then we'll work on the moves.
Please, no, but it was so fun, so fun. The defense is having just so much fun out there. Defensive line, what they call it, the dog pound. It's just awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that. I know they like to say that, but it reminds me of Cleveland too much.
Too much. Yeah.
And that's circus. Yeah, I don't need anything reminding me of Cleveland football.
Swear you don't. Just love that Baker is absolute. Like, this is obviously the worst case scenario is Baker winning a Super Bowl, but this is close to worst case scenario
for Cleveland. That is for Cleveland, yes.
For Cleveland, because obviously if he wins the Super Bowl, ain't nothing to be said. They can sort of see he was never a Super Bowl winning quarterback, whatever. But he's an absolutely legitimate MVP candidate right now. Not like speculatory, not like we're pumping these numbers up to be here. He is a bona fide by every single metric in the book. Everywhere you look, every nook and cranny, he's an MVP candidate. And you now have to say you potentially made the worst trade, if not the worst trade in NFL history, given $230 million guaranteed, hamstringing your franchise for a dude that played maybe in totality played 8 games for your franchise, and the dude you let go that was like a lot. Like, he fits Tampa Bay like a glove. He fit Cleveland like a glove. Just the mentality that he has, right? Like, he did, and you guys shipped him off. Said he wasn't an adult in the room for what? And now he balling out. All right, you know what I mean. So,
yeah, as somebody who holds a Baker Mayfield MVP ticket at plus 3,500, I feel great about it. So he's playing like an MVP, and my thing is, like, he's been doing it, not just padding numbers with an all-star team. He's been missing Mike Evans. Godwin's got back. Chris Godwin got back, and Mike Evans went out immediately. Bucky Irving missed the last game. Bucky's been great for him, right? You've had Cade Otton miss time. You've had multiple offensive linemen miss time. Emeka Egbuka is awesome, but you shouldn't have to rely on a rookie to basically, carry your receiving core when you have guys like McMillan and Godwin and Evans and all these guys in it. So when they get back healthy, man, they're going to be even in better shape. And the back end of their schedule is so easy.
Mm-hmm.
They play a bunch of bums to end the year. So, yeah, I think that Baker, I think the Bucks end up winning, 12, 13 games probably, which is going to put Baker, it isn't one of those Heisman things where you have to be, you have to be in the playoff, you have to be a national title contender, number 1, number 2 team, anything like that to win the Heisman. Obviously Hunter wasn't, but you know what I'm saying? It's you can get some MVP votes if you get your team to, top 4. They might be the top seed in the NFC with that schedule because they get to play in a bad division, and the end of their year, man, it looks super easy. So I don't know what gets a top seed in the NFC this year. If 13 does it, maybe 14 does it, I don't know, but Baker and the Bucks have as good a chance as anybody.
Yeah. I agree. 100%. Now it's time, Trav. Obviously we've been talking about it a little bit. Let's get to Oklahoma, Texas. Red River rivalry. 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 2:30 Central Time, and the Cotton Bowl. What does either team need to do to win? I think obviously we're going to talk Oklahoma ad nauseum, but let's think about it from their perspective. Like they had a terrible year. What goes right for Texas and wrong for Oklahoma for them to win?
Yeah, I think when you rank the units of in this game, you're going to rank the Oklahoma defensive line at the top, and then it's pretty much anybody's game from there, right? It's like,
Yeah.
and I know you're going to rank Texas's offensive line at the bottom, but then maybe just above that, Oklahoma's offensive line when it comes to the run.
Yeah.
Neither team has been able to run the ball with their running backs. It's kind of weird how both teams are struggling with that. But the only thing that has shown up consistently is the defensive line for Oklahoma. So with Texas, if they can bring in extra backs, tight ends, something, max protect for Arch, I think they're going to rely on explosives. And I think you've got Ryan Wingo and Parker Livingston, these guys going deep. Like they're going to need to hit on some of those explosives with Arch Manning. Now, if you can rattle him early, get him throwing some ducks, have him turn the ball over, you're gonna be you're gonna be in business. But Brent Venables has to be sure not to get too cute and over blitz, allowing some of the run lanes because Arch can escape. He's not that great of a runner, but he's better than Quinn is. So I know this is the first OU Texas game as a head coach that Brent will be calling the defense for. And I know he's just super excited to do that. And I'm sure he wants to shut up all the Texas hype that he's been hearing since he got here, really since he was born. But all the Manning hype, all this, that, and the other, which defense is better. I think he's going to try and make a statement. But when you try and be over aggressive and you try and play too fast, that's when you get gashed for big run plays, big screens, things like
Yeah.
that, because you're being too aggressive.
Yeah. I agree. I think that ultimately Brent Venables needs to make sure, and I think he will, that he's not giving Texas opportunities that are unnecessary. And I think he trusts his guys. I mean, they've been playing, lights out. And we offensively, I mean, if we're going to be honest with ourselves, Michigan and Auburn both presented, at least from running the ball, from the running game perspective, bigger challenges than Texas at this point. That's not crazy to say, right, Travis? I mean, that statistically, when we play Auburn, they were like the number 4 rushing offense.
Yeah,
You know?
it's true. And a lot of that was because Baylor played 4 safeties, and they're like, oh, just don't throw on us. And then they, decided to just let Arnold run the ball over and over and over and over. But yeah, I mean, I think that Oklahoma, they've faced tougher tests, or at least they've won bigger games.
Yeah.
I think the Michigan win is better than, or is a tougher team than in the Swamp. I know that sounds crazy, but this is not a good Florida team. This is a team that, I mean, blew you off the ball. They weren't able to blow South Florida off the ball in the Swamp. And they were blowing Texas off the ball. They were gashing them in the run game. They were folding their offensive line. I don't know. Just I would have big concerns if I were in the trenches with Texas. I just feel like they've really disappointed to this part of the season.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it'll be interesting to see what it turns into. What do you think Oklahoma needs to do, Trav, to win this game on Saturday?
I think they need to limit explosives, play clean, make your kicks.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if the corners, Eli Bowen being back, it's good. Let him get some run a week ago. But Eli Bowen being downfield against those talented receivers, going to be a big deal. Cut down on penalties. Texas ranks 125th nationally at like 76 penalty yards per game. So need to exploit that. Need them to, really, you need them to force holds. Crowd's got to be loud on our half. False starts. They're still trying to figure out what 5 are their best 5 on the front line. So you need to take advantage of that. Make them hold R. Mason Thomas and PJ and David and Jaden and G Baby and all these guys. Make them hold them because they will. So I think that you can create pressure with your front four, but it's all going to be about not letting the big play get by you. So I bring up special teams. Man, I don't know how many times we've seen Texas kickers come through there and just, man, whether it was a game winner, whether it was just consistent, man, we felt like we pushed them to the edge of field goal range and they made it. Just I'm done with the Justin Tuckers and Dick of the kickers and guys like this that have come through here. It looks like we may have the advantage in special teams with our punter. And in a game like this, that's a defensive slugfest. Field goals might win the game. So it's, I don't know, and it's, I see a couple people bringing up run game. Oklahoma's got to run the ball. I mean, yeah, you'd like them to. I don't think they have to win the game outside of, I think the QB run can be effective. That's fine. There are a lot of places. There are a lot of NFL teams right now where your quarterback is your leading rusher, right? I mean, you look at what South Carolina did to Kentucky, Lenore Sellers, leading rusher. Like, Texas is a good defensive line. Florida is probably the best running offense they're going to see this year. So, the quick pass game can be very similar to the run game. Anything up near the line of scrimmage, it's basically run game. So, we'll see if Jaden Ott can finally break out against a quality opponent. Otherwise, you got Xavier Robinson and you got Javante Barnes and you got Torrey Blaylock and these guys that can get the job done. But John Mateer +1 in the run game, it's going to be a big deal. So I look back to the Michigan game where we grinded out like a 9-minute drive to end the game. And, man, what I would do to see that, up a score against Texas with 9 minutes left, get the ball deep in your own territory, and then just run the clock down, bleed it all the way down as you drive down and they just can't stop you. Pick up some 3rd and 1s on the ground, and then kick a field goal and win the game by 10,
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's interesting, when you think about like even the commentary that Texas was overlooking Florida to come to us. I don't think that that's true. No. Texas already have 1 loss. They can't afford potentially 2 losses. Really. Like now it's if they lose again, they're done. And so to say that they were overlooking going to the Swamp, I think is disingenuous. I don't think that, and if they did, then something's wrong with the coaching staff. Because I don't care how bad Florida is conceived to be. They're an SEC team that was preseason, like this is going to be a team that could be pretty good. They have a crazy schedule, but they could be decent. And so, we should never overlook an SEC team either. I think it's decent. Did we overlook Kent State? Probably, but that's different. There's between Kent State at home and Florida in the Swamp. Big difference. So,
I don't think the defense overlooked Kent State.
Sure.
The offensive line, maybe, but the defense, I mean, I don't know how often they cross midfield or if they did. You know what I mean? Like, it's the defense, man, has been dialed in, playing to a standard, but also you don't have Dominic Williams or Jaden Jackson against Kent State just resting, I guess, because they're not on the injury report this week, not even as probable, just not even on it. Like, you're able to essentially give 2 bye weeks to Dominic Williams and Jaden Jackson and say, all right, you got Texas coming up. Like, that's nuts. Like, they've got interior line issues at Texas, and they're about to have big problems with Jaden Jackson and Dominic Williams in the middle.
Yeah. Man, they are – I mean, our defensive tackle rotation is just – it's insane, Trav. Dominic.
It really is.
Jaden, David Stone, and Grayson, bro. I mean, all of them are high-end defensive tackles. High.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's no breaks, bro. Like there's no breaks for any. Like you want run stuffers, Jane Jackson, Dominic Williams. You want a pass rusher, Grayson Holland. You want both, David Stone.
Bro, David Stone's playing unconsciously right now.
He play out of his mind, bro. He throwing people like rag dolls all the time, every game. Every game.
Like I know the term like caught a body. I get it, but like he's literally catching bodies. Like in the backfield, like somebody makes a cut, and it looks like somebody threw the uncle their nephew like in the pool. Like all right, like and they just make a cut, and he's just like got you. Like it's crazy how he's back there. So David Stone emergence. Obviously, this is a big game for him. The Texas writers were talking all kinds of trash about him, specifically Jeff Ketchum and others at Orange Bloods. We're talking mad, and not just that he wasn't a great player. They were talking effort. They were calling him lazy, calling him entitled, this, that, and the other, like, or implying that at least with what they were saying about being down there at IMG with him. Like, he's got some things to prove. And obviously he didn't do anything, notable in the game last year. But this year, he's feeling good. He's looking good. He's big, strong. I mean, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun to see what he does, man. And again, hopefully, regardless of who plays, I just hope the offensive line shows up, the running back room shows up a little bit. I think if they do that, I think it's a dub for sure. I think if they don't, then I think we're going to have to scratch and claw. Honestly, that's my opinion. So, with that being said, man, let's get into a little bit of a score prediction.
Yeah. So, a little, 5-star does it to you, but I do like this as the chat fills up your score predictions. Use short passing games as extension of the run game. I bring up what the Patriots were able to do with Tom Brady. I think they were like out of running backs on the roster, and they're like, screw it, we're just not going to run the ball. And there was a game where literally the New England Patriots in like prime Tom Brady did not have a rushing attempt in the game. They were like, all right, we're just going to do quick pass. The thing is, if you spread them out, your Ant Hills of the world, they're fast. They can get to you. But if you block it up right, get your athletes in space, your Torrey Blaylocks, your Jaden Knotts, these guys in space, you're gonna have a good time. Wow, lot of big wins right off the board. We've got 31-10 Oklahoma from Kaysen. Boomer 129 says 27-10. My father, the skull, says 27-10.
Boomer.
CB 24-20 with a scraping win over the 43.5. 43.5, obviously the point total. Base Kirby just under the point total, 43. So we've got a 44 and a 43. 31-16 says Ryan C. Dad complimenting Boomer 129. That's interesting. Man, if Arch might hit on some deep ones, but I don't think they're going to just line it up and drive at 75 yards over and over. Like I don't think that that's something that offensive line can do against this defensive line.
Yeah.
So, you start looking at that, and I mean, there's a path where Texas doesn't score 2 touchdowns. And it's a 13-20 game, It's a 13-17 game. 13-17, I'll take a half-point win. But 13-17, get me out of there with a win. Anything to get to 6-0 on the season. Man, you get to 6-0 on the season, your eyes start to get real big. I mean, you got to lock back in for South Carolina next week, but your eyes start to get really big. You walking into the buffet at that point. Mother says OU's going to blow them out. OU's D is going to blow them out. Okay. Yeah, the defense is great. Brent Venables, this is the game he's had circled. He wants to man, he just wants to make an example out of the circus that is the Arch Manning show.
Yeah. I absolutely agree. I think he's lit up for this game, man. I just hope that the offense has their back. Trav, what's yours, man? And then I'll get mine, and we'll have some time for some questions here. We already got a couple questions loading up, and then you guys get ready to ask us some more. But what's your score prediction, bro?
I am going to go. I've been waffling on this. I just, as I think about it, as I talk about it with, with them having Malik Muhammad and Parker Livingstone back, that's a big deal. There's 2 downfield threats for them, especially Parker's been great this year. Wish he would have got that OU offer. But, man, I think Texas stalls out in the red zone a couple times against this defense. They score a touchdown. I think Texas gets to 13. And I think Oklahoma gets to 20. I think it's 20-13 Oklahoma.
Okay.
2 touchdowns, 2 field goals for Oklahoma. 1 touchdown, 2 field goals for Texas.
Okay. 2013. I'm gonna go 21. 21-14. I'm gonna throw out the field goals.
Wow.
It's a little bit different, But 21-14. I still think OU wins this game. Even if Michael Hawkins plays, I'm really going with that mindset. If John Mateer plays, great, but if Michael Hawkins plays, I think we do enough to get at least 2 offensive touchdowns. Maybe some help there with our special teams game, maybe even a turnover. I even think we maybe get a defensive touchdown. I'd love to see a pick 6 in this game. So
that'd be nice.
21.
That'd be one. That'd be one for the highlight reel.
Yeah.
Because if there's a pick 6, Arch is probably going to try and make the tackle, and so you'd have a picture of Arch failing to tackle one of our defensive backs that runs by him to the end zone. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
How funny would it be if Arch throws 2 picks, 1 to Peyton, 1 to Eli?
That'd be hilarious. That'd be really funny, actually. Peyton and Eli.
I think that'd be great.
Yeah. All right, guys. Let's get into a time of Q&A for a bit. It's been a minute since we've done some Q&A for a little bit.
Yeah, we'll do some Q&A. Q&As are always fun.
They are. So, Kaysen asked me this question. I was late, so maybe this was JP. On a scale of 1 to 10, how disappointing was it for you when the other players got away with Halton celebration? I did say something about this. I mean, when they got in the way, I think it made him do something that he said he was already going to do it, and he said something in the locker room, but he really couldn't get into it fully because they're around him. So I would say, in terms of the players being around him, I was probably at like a 7 or 8. In terms of like the dance he did, I'd say a 5. I mean, I would have expected something different, a little bit more classic, because that he's that type of dude. He likes to listen to a lot of classic music, old school music. That's how he was raised. So Mr. Buford raised him, and obviously he likes a lot of the newer stuff. Don't get me wrong, but like if he gonna dance, he gonna break out with some old school stuff. That's just a fact. So. I know that I would have appreciated that. But yeah, that's how I feel. Ryan C asks, how many times has OU's defense played in the red zone? Keeping teams out means more field goals. I'm gonna let you start with that answer. I gotta go get my nose is stuffed up. If you can't tell.
Well, I mean, let's think of them. I mean, it's more than 3 times. Because Oklahoma has given up. I guess their Michigan touchdown they gave up in the 75-yarder. And then, your interception against Temple that Keontez Lewis got hurt on, held him to a field goal. Your Illinois State interception that I think was just a miscommunicated route. They went backwards, but still ended up with a field goal. Let's see, Auburn. Man, the games that are closer, I forget more. I'll need to go back and look at a drive chart. But to your point, hasn't been very often. Haven't been very often, and that's the thing. One thing we know about these two coaches is that Brent is a great red zone play caller. Great red zone play caller. What you know about Steve Sarkisian is that he is famously a terrible red zone play caller in big games. When you look at Texas's last, let's see. When you look at Texas's last few big games, right, against Florida, they obviously only scored 29 points, right? Against Ohio State, they only scored 7 points. The last game against Ohio State, the Cotton Bowl, they only scored 14 points, right?
Mm-hmm.
Against Georgia, 19 points. Even against Texas A&M, only 17 points, right? Against Arkansas, 20. Against Georgia, another time, 15. Like when you start looking at this Texas offense with all these 5-stars all over the place and quarterback guru, offensive genius, Steve Sarkisian, they come up small in a lot of big moments, in a lot of big games. So obviously in this matchup, they've blown up twice due to Oklahoma just really not having an answer on the other side of the ball at quarterback. And it's just really hard to get your defense to stay locked in when they know they're going to be the ones that have to score as well.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I mean, shoot, that was us last year.
Yeah,
right?
I mean it. Yeah,
Thought we were gonna have to score a lot, and if we didn't do anything, then the offense was there to mess it up.
we were reliant on Kip to score for us, basically.
Basically, yeah.
And he did. He won a game for us.
Jason says, I feel like we've played defense in the red zone 3 times, twice off the picks in the Auburn game, maybe. I really don't think he's wrong. I don't think we've had a lot of red zone opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to think back to Auburn. Let's see. Because they bragged about after the game that they were still 100% scoring in the red zone, and they scored 17 points. So let's see. They had a field goal from 24 yards. They had that Cam Coleman touchdown from 2 yards out, that jump ball. Remember, because they got flagged down there.
Mm-hmm.
Malcolm Simmons 4-yard run for a touchdown. So, yeah, I mean, Auburn got down there 3 times.
Okay.
But still, not a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Michigan, you were able to keep out of there for most of the game outside of that 75-yard run. But, yeah, red zone, like I said, Sarkisian has struggled.
Mm-hmm. The cruise ship, Kirby.
Yeah, I mean, he stinks,
He does.
He stinks. Runs his mouth.
He's
got me blocked.
He's so obsessed with you, bro. Does he?
He's got me blocked. So
what you do?
Well, because he started, glazing Urban Meyer whenever it was possible that Texas might go after him. And then I pulled up old tweets of his where he was calling Urban Meyer this, that, and the other, when he was, retiring or whatever. Like, it was just a very easy way. All I had to search was Urban in his Twitter history. And then I replied to it with him, and then he blocked me. But, yeah, he's just – I mean, even Texas fans don't like him.
They don't.
Like, they're – and they don't have a lot of – oh, jeez. Can't come on his stream because I called him Ozempic Mr. Clean. Well, but yeah, the fact Ketchum blocked me is pretty rough. I mean, let's be honest. They've been there a long time.
Subs, Jay?
Yeah.
What?
Well, they're just like the originals. Like they've been doing it a long time. I don't know when Orange Blood started their YouTube channel, but I know they've been around a long time. Let's see. And oh, good to see you, Jay. Well, 9:30 action. 152,000 subscribers.
That's nuts.
They joined in 2021, but Orange Blood's been around forever.
I was gonna say they got 150 in 4 years.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts. Pretty nuts.
Any other questions, guys? Keep them coming. We still got a few minutes. Here we go. Does Guillory start or is it Eli and Gentry? I need to watch the full Kent State game again to see what Eli did. It was good to see him out there. Obviously, you're not going to see much from a Kent State game, but yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
So, I think Cortland's done a great job. I think you can just rotate him quickly. I think Eli, you got to see if he's got rust to knock off. Cortland's been out there every week, staying in rhythm. Gentry's been out there. I think Eli, I don't know. It's interesting to see who starts because it doesn't. It's like just because you start doesn't mean that you're going to play the most snaps, right? But I don't know. I think I'd go with Eli and Gentry. I don't know. It's tough. What do you think?
Yeah.
And also for these people, we are the away team. So if you notice, we have more home games this year than we had last year because Texas is home. So like we have the 3 on the road, Texas technically on the road, and then South Carolina, Tennessee, and Alabama on the road. Last year we had more on the road. We had Mizzou, LSU. I went to them all. What were they? Oh, Ole Miss and Auburn. Yeah. So we are the away team. So the home team gets to host all the recruits.
Yeah.
Jerry Outhouse will be there. I saw that report.
To answer your question real quick, I think that I could see Guillory starting, but if he is still struggling with confidence early, then I think that Eli might pop in there. I mean, it's just nice. It's a nice problem to have when you have 3 guys that have been playing, or at least have shown the ability to be high end corners. We just have to see which ones do it consistently. It's nice to have people to rotate in.
I went to Cortland Guillory's mom's birthday party on Saturday.
Oh, how was that?
It was great. They had the best catering. Like they had these lamb chops, bro, out of this world. Spicy. They were so good. They had a great little cheese setup, and everybody. I'll tell you what, the nicest people in the world. Them, all their cousins, everybody like that. They had the hookahs going, so we had a hookah at the table with some lamb chops, and yeah, it was awesome. Cortland came through and thanked everybody for coming, and stopped at each table, introduced himself, and was very kind and well spoken and all that. So that was really cool. Very random. I did not think I would be having a hookah evening at Cortland's mom's birthday party, but I've ended up in crazier places. How much do we see of Gibson? I assume if Keontae doesn't go, he's just going to plug in his place.
Yeah. Yeah. If Keontae does go, where do you think we see him at?
I think they'd rotate Keontae more than they rotate Dion and Isaiah.
Yeah, you're right.
And I think they're closer to the body types. Like you're not going to put Giovanni where like Dion played. Like and it just the body types. He's more of a Keontae guy, anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he's going to get some snaps. I mean, he looks athletic out there. That's for sure. So
Yeah.
be a heck of a time. Knock off the rust last week and then get out there. Yeah, Dominic Williams didn't play either. So
Really?
I mean, with them not being on I don't believe he did. I don't think Dominic or Jaden played in the middle. So when you look at, what none of them are on the injury report. So, precautionary maybe, but maybe they knew Jaden Ott was going to get, 10 plus carries or whatever he had, and they wanted to force the issue with him a little bit. They wanted to get Torrey Blaylock involved, whatever. I don't know, but it's nice that you can give all those guys 2 bye weeks back to back before Texas. And Texas had to go to the swamp and get beat up in the trenches before they come to Dallas.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, and Oklahoma benefits from that often. So they get Texas off going to Florida. South Carolina has to go to LSU at night before they play us. And then, who has to go to Georgia? I know LSU has to go to Bama before they play us. And then I think Tennessee goes to Alabama before they play us. So, like, we're getting all kinds of good, like, next week
Yes.
of teams.
Yeah, that's true. What was next? Materially, did we take another transfer quarterback? Rumbles around the cow. QB in particular.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on, what Arbuckle wants, and if Arbuckle's getting hired away for a head coaching job or something. There's a lot of P4 jobs coming open every day. There's only going to be more come open at the end of the year, and Arbuckle is a sexy name for those jobs. So, yeah, it'll depend on him, what he wants. I mean, look, this is a guy that showed up with a top 20 quarterback committed to the class, 4-star, and Jaden O'Neal. He got here and said, "Yeah, I want a different guy. Go give me Bo Bentley." So this is a guy who goes and gets who he wants to get. And if he wants Mike Hawkins to be his starter, then by God, he'll be his starter. So It's a good point. CB, Ole Miss at Georgia the week before us. Telling you, we're setting up nicely on a tough schedule. It does soften up when you consider who they have to play the week before us. We're going to see Ott instead of Barnes the rest of the year. Well, I don't think I think Blaylock and Ott give you the most upside from just a running perspective, but Barnes will always be there because they trust him to block. And when they trust you to pass block and you're not running the ball well anyways, they're like, well, if we got Colin Simmons and all these dudes, blowing past tackles or whatever, like we've got to have extra blocking in there. So I think Javonte, where he may not be the top end runner that I think Ott and Blaylock might be, I think you just trust him so much more when you're trying to run the offense.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just, like I said at the beginning, I need to see a lot more before I say that I has been I don't want to say failure, but I mean it's going that way. And I just need to see him in action against a good team, like you said. And Barnes does provide a lot in the pass protection game, Trev.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like we can't overlook that. We really can't, especially not against a team like Texas. And he's the most physical back we have. I'm not saying he's the best runner because he's not objectively, but he's the most physical. So those are things that you're going to need. I hope that we can get Ott going, but I don't know. I don't know that I can say that.
Yeah, I mean I've seen it. I know the talent's there. We just need to see it in crimson instead of navy blue. Topping out right at 1,200. Nice.
Yeah.
I know everybody's going to go back to Eric Gray, but we need to get some things going.
I mean, I don't disagree whatsoever. So,
yep. And here's the thing. Think of who's running the program now, general manager.
mhm.
Think how he thinks. He thinks NFL production. I want NFL guys. Who's developing NFL players? If you think through that lens, some coaches are seeing their stock rise with Jim Nagy, and some coaches probably seeing their stock fall with Jim Nagy. So keep that in mind when it comes to all these coaches.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. We'll have to see what happens, man. But I'm hoping that next Wednesday we are here talking about a big time dub versus
Please.
Texas. And man, if that happened, if when that happened, now let's say this: it's not the end of the world if we lose this game.
No, I think it is.
You think it is?
Man, they're whimpering. They're licking their wounds. It's time to put them out of their misery and give them their third loss.
In terms of like the rivalry, I agree. I'm saying in terms of the college football playoff. Like I think that it like who was it? I think it was Pate.
Man, you're proving them right. You're proving Pate right though.
What?
Man, Oklahoma, they don't really want it as bad as Texas. They can. It would be nice to win it, sure, but
no, Mr. Davison, that's not what's happening. That's not what's happening. I'm not leaning in. I don't do that.
Wow, not again.
I'm not again. I'm not leaning. I'm not. I literally my score prediction said Oklahoma by a touchdown. I think we're winning this game. What I'm saying is in terms of our college football playoff stock, it's not like a must win. It's a must win in turn for us when we think about we don't want to hear Texas's mouth, but for them it's an absolute must. Like they're done if they lose this game. I don't think that makes them play any better, but I'm saying that hey, this is not an indictment on our entire season if we were to lose this game. That's all I said. Am I wrong?
Texas. JP telling the boys take the week off. We don't need
no. Don't clip me. Don't clip me. I did not.
Take the week off, boys. We good. Freebie. We got some mulligans.
I'm not digging. You know what? All right. Hold on. Oh, you by 5,000.
There you
Let's
go.
Boomer.
There you go. All right. No, I get the I get the idea that they are the more desperate team, but Oklahoma's schedule.
Yeah, we can't play with the game. I agree. Oh man.
CB, what's up?
Wow. Yeah, I'm saying it with my chest. We winning.
There we go.
I said that since the beginning, except from jump. We winning the game.
There we go.
We winning the game.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yep. It's funny because my mother, which by the way, Mom, you're watching. Barry Switzer says hello. They met at a charity event, something like that. So I text Barry, "Happy birthday," and he said, "Thanks, Travis. Say hi to your mom." And I was like, I wonder how many times Barry has sent that text as like an insult and not like actually meaning it.
Not actually meaning it
over the years.
Hey, Mr.
Or said it. He probably said it a bunch.
Like that. You said what?
I said it. I bet he said it a lot. He probably hasn't texted it a lot. But shout out CB with the $49.99. Wow.
Thank you, CB.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We are. You see the hat? You see the hat?
We're repping. We're repping.
Beat Texas. Okay.
Hopefully these hats, when I ask you, hey, what did Oklahoma do on Saturday? I hope these hats are answering the question. So,
I agree.
Absolutely. So, all right. We're at an hour and 5 minutes, all 1,200 plus of you in here. Any other questions before we go?
Peace out, Ryan. Appreciate you guys. Hey, don't go tell nobody that I picked Texas again because it didn't happen.
No, he did not pick Texas, but he thinks,
I know.
you know.
I know that's right. I know that's right, Mr. Davidson. That's right.
Yeah. Did not pick Texas, but sure thought that Oklahoma could just, kind of take the week off, because they don't need the win. But not me. Play with desperation, boys.
I read this wrong, Trev.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yep. Full Sue. She hangs with a pretty cool crowd.
I thought he said that she said you know who she rolls with, as in like she rolled with your father, like she only got eyes for him. That's what.
Yeah, I don't think Dad's going to beat up 88-year-old Barry Switzer. I'm pretty sure I would not be allowed to cover that anymore. I wouldn't be able to cover Oklahoma anymore.
We're not gonna see that happen. He wouldn't put hands on him like that. No, I'm not. I'm hosting my cross country state championship like I do every year on Red River. However, thankfully,
nice.
We're in the SEC, I will actually get to watch the full game instead of getting into it in the first quarter because we get done around typically 1 p.m. Eastern time, and the game historically has started at noon Central time. I don't know what's wrong with the bill in my head, man, but we will be done by 1, and the game then starts at 3:30. So I am stoked to see it all. Yeah. But safe travels to Dallas to everybody who's going. My mom, my sister will be there. Trav is heading out tomorrow, I believe. So
I'll head out early Friday.
Oh, Friday.
Early Friday. Mm-hmm. Yep. Jamie's getting back into town tomorrow. She's on a little work trip, so she'll be back tomorrow.
Gotcha. Okay.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you. Every last one of you.
Beat them.
Another big shout out to CB for the super chat. You're the best. See you guys.
Boomer.